All right, actually, this time, welcome to the first day of the Victory Valorant Invitational. Of course, I'm Stratocaster coming at you here with Rose Hour for the first cast of, this B stream. There's one going on A right now. But we are joining you for this Big Max versus Stormtroopers game. Now, Rose, I'm asking you about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. But which of these two teams do you think is going to have the advantage here? Obviously, Big Max run by Ducks and Stormtroopers by Mustard.
In my opinion, what you have to really look at here is the experience difference between a lot of the players on Stormtroopers versus those on Big Macs. For instance, on Stormtroopers, you have Mustard and JC, who have been playing, most of the Valorant events that we've had here on BPL. And on the other side, over on Big Macs, really as deep as it gets is Spooky, who, while a very well-known veteran of the BPL circuit, is more so inclined to sort of play on his own. He sort of plays more controller, more initiator, which means, he's not going to be on the front lines getting those kills, chasing down, tearing map control away. So I feel a solid Stormtroopers win here off the back of Mustard just locking the judge, double blast packing into hookah, and just sitting on people.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you here. I think Stormtroopers are going to be able to take this away. I mean, Ducks' team, he's got a couple good players, Optical and Kyle, I know, pretty good, and as you said, Spooky, but, I'm not sure if Ducks himself, as well as Tommy Slat and Killa, are really going to be able to clean things up and keep things going along for the team, while Stormtroopers, they look pretty well-rounded as a whole. So our first map will be Bind, obviously, Bind being the map with the two teleports, and just a fun one. I think a very well-rounded map, very competitively viable. I would say this one and Ascent are probably two of my favorites, just because they can be played in a bunch of different ways and still feel like either team has a chance. So, Bind obviously favoring, every team really favors defense, and it's not that different, but we will just be starting it off. And now, as we
Yeah, I
run it
think
in,
you really have to think about the preference of agent picks for these teams. Mustard, as I said, is a menace on the Rays with the judge, and I think he wants to enable that as much as possible. And Big Max, again, like you said, Bind is a very competitively viable map. It's not impossible to figure out rotations, and mid-run calling is not as difficult because of the confinedness of the map. So it's really, I think, the optimal pick for both a team that may not have as much experience uh, as some of the rosters we have here in the VVI. But overall, I'm excited to see this map.
yeah, and as we see, Brimstone being played here for Chasey, the first lock-in for the side of Stormtroopers. However, we see Big Max. They've locked in 3 already with Kizzle on the Astra. As we know, Astra is a very good smoke agent, lots of utility. However, we do see Tommy Slat on the Sage, as I believe he plays a lot of, and Dux is in. So that means that sitting out right now for the side of Big Max is actually
Paracelsus.
Optical Crash
Oh,
for this.
optical. Sorry.
Paracelsus is sitting out for the other team. Unless
But
Para's
no,
mommy
uh,
members.
I well, only one way to find out. Para, if you can hear us, tell us your love for Lean in the chat. But yeah, overall we have the double initiator setup for Big Macs, meaning that they're going to be trying to take very active map control away, not be relying so much on that on controlling the flanks. Obviously, no Sentinel to do that. Sage obviously being a Sentinel, but not really of the same utility.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we do see on the opposite side double Sentinel with only one duelist. Well, both teams only have one duelist, but it's going to be on Mustard to really open up a lot of these fights. Maybe Stormtroopers' composition doesn't really have that opening engage you want. They're just going to have to work really well with that Sky utility on top of that aggression, of course, coming up from Mustard, as you highlighted before the match. And that's really what they're going to have to do to be able to open this up. But they will be on offense first. We have Big Max on the defense. And what are you looking for here? What do you think is going to be the key to Big Max pulling off a good defense
Well,
and being able to just hold things strong?
the linchpin of most, really important, really good, really effective bind attacks is, that hookah control, using that raise utility, using the sky utility to really clear space so that you can leverage that into a B site hit. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here as Mustard posted up with the Boombot, stacked up with the KJ and the Sage as well. 5-man over to B, Boombot's out. And no super early aggression here from the defensive side, but that does mean that Big Max is going to be able to more adequately respond to the early jump out. And the sight hit comes through. No, Kizzle trying to stay alive and missed all the util. Spooky goes down to the native Mustard in the meantime. Mio Mommy Milker 65, getting that first blood. Alpha getting for good for the trade. And now it's just the two players for Big Max stuck in their spawn. Tomas BS takes out Ducks. And it's just Tommy, 1v5. Can't quite find anything with right click. A flawless round coming out the gate for Stormtroopers. And again, it's off that back of that really early hookah aggression, just letting them blow open the sight hit before the rotates can come through. The defensive utility not quite being there to stall out the push.
Yeah, Stormtroopers really came in. Big Max, they had Kyle and they had Spooky there, but they backed up, it seemed, halfway and then just got caught out in the backside of Spooky and Elbow. So it seems they need to either choose to stay on point or stay on site and fight it out, or just back out all the way, give time for their teammates to come back, and then come for recontest. But we will see Stormtroopers doing this yet again. However,
once
Kyle
again,
nice
fast hit into hookah.
But he's right out. Spooky along, he's got the pistol. Is he going to be able to get him? No.
Kyle actually finds one with the right click under heaven, but will it be enough as the B site's torn open by Stormtroopers? The molly into the defensive spawn just to try to lock out any early re-aggression onto the site from the defenders. And now Big Mac with the inferior guns are just once again stuck in their spawn and an elbow. Stormtroopers are pretty effectively setting up those crossfires. Tomas BS on that high-low from on top of Tube. Kill it with the Deagle. Gonna have to make some magic work. And Alpha, Tomas, and Chasey just mow them down as they come in.
Yeah, I mean, it seems this A site or this B site is extremely comfortable for Stormtroopers. They know what to do with their brimstone smokes and just following up through hookah and through long. It seems Spooky having a bit of trouble there stopping and mitigating some of that aggression. However, it will be a site swap this time. It looks like they are going to be going A, perhaps throwing Big Mac for a loop. Actually, not really. Big Mac looks like maybe they've read this and are keeping the 3 on A, but it does seem that Killa is sitting a bit further back, or not Killa, excuse me. Kyle, I believe that is Kizzle, is sitting back. But
yes.
We do see early wall out here, as well as the dart is going to ping one, and that's about it. So maybe known, maybe unknown. Spooky doesn't see anything long. He's going to be backing up.
Spooky's actually looks to be rotating as the smokes come down, and Big Macs are looking to bunker down on this ace site, but Stormtroopers launch that initial bit of util and then just back right off. Seemingly predicting the fast rotate coming out.
But are they going to be able to think that Kizzle's here? Well, actually, he just backed straight off, going back, and now Spooky is back to help him out. However, they go fast. It will still be a 4v2 as Brimstone is long, but no, we see Raze get back in time. So now
Execute is in, and Tommy Slot actually takes the teleporter. The Sage now stuck inside that little room. The door's going to give away any exit that he tries to make. And the B hits in once again. Mustard pours out onto the site. Spooky good for one, Kyle good for one of his own, but Spectre's still a pretty good gun.
Oh yeah, and the Prime Spectre, I mean, it may just be a skin, but makes him shoot more accurate, and as we see, Mustard takes down Ducks. He did get an arrow off, bringing everyone on point, but now Big Macs are going to be hard pressed, and now Spooky
good for 3. Identifies the last, gets the 4th, gets the ult up. Bomb not planted. Big Macs, maybe not as comfortable as they would have liked on their first real gun round, but, got to start building up rounds at some point.
Yeah, I mean, very well played there from Big Mac. Spooky, especially picking up 4 in the round. And, obviously that is their bonus. They do kind of win that if Stormtroopers win pistol. But we do see that, maybe this is what they need for momentum. And finally, Stormtroopers is able to full buy, except maybe 1 or 2 players. It just seems to be the one in the Killjoy. And actually, the Brimstone, or the Raze, is short buying. Not exactly sure which one. And yeah, just waiting it out, playing patient, maybe just defaulting, seeing which way they're going to go, waiting out this wall. And this plan for Stormtroopers didn't really work last round, and it seems Big Macs have this A site locked down pretty completely. It will be an early rotate from Spooky. However, some hookah presence already makes Spooky turn right back. And it seems that the entirety of Big Macs actually is leaving with
Boombot over the top.
a reposition from Duxon. Now they're walking on the side.
Killa identifying the bot is going to cause the rotate back over from Dux, who's playing in lamps with the judge. Can't quite get anything as Mustard. More than happy to just hold down his D key and rip off ahead.
Yeah, great push there from Stormtroopers, and now walking back in, they do have this
retake looking rough. Walls up. Brimstone ult also available for Chasey, so if they manage to, even if Big Macs manage to dislodge Stormtroopers from this position, it's not going to look good. Spooky actually goes down, coming out of CT, and now it's just the two players. Astro on low health, Sage stuck in showers. And it looks like Kyle's just going to be going for a save as Tommy falls.
Interesting play
It actually looks like Stormtroopers are going to try to hunt down this gun. Nothing quite found. Kyle manages to get away with that gun in hand. But yeah, no, it was off the back of some a nice little pace change from Stormtroopers. Not, instead of taking one extremity away right off the bat, they waited out. They identified that Tommy really likes to go for that Sage wall in a short, so they just they pump the brakes, let Spooky rotate on his own, swing right back around, explode onto the site, and catch out the last.
Yeah, absolutely. Great mind games from the side of Stormtroopers now.
It is that experience difference.
Again, and he's going to have to find one or two more kills, and he just backs out yet again. They give up hookah every time, and it hasn't seemed to have worked out for them in the past. They're going to see if it's different this time. Tomas just trying to jump on top of the box and trying to find something, but Spooky's in that corner. Using his dog, finds
Kyle spotted in Cubby. Nate comes in. Explosion onto the site. Nice flash. Catches two. Tomas gets the free cleanup. Now the wall into CT. This is, we're not seeing perhaps the most optimal use of the Sage utility, but hey, you're under no pressure at all, so might as well go for it. Dux lobs an arrow in. Doesn't look like it actually gets out the door. And Stormtroopers once again just free to set up this post plant. The flank actually identified by the alarm bot, perhaps? No, Tommy's actually gotten into hookah.
Enemy remaining.
Finds the first, but 1v4 identified, taken down by Tomas BS.
Yeah, I mean, again, really well played. I really don't like how Big Macs are just giving up this hookah control, and it seems they're just waiting on site for nothing to happen.
I agree.
With the absolute presence that Stormtroopers have, those sky flashes always coming out at such a great time, as well as Mustard's raise utility. He's able to just break out onto that side so consistently. And, Big Macs, it just seems like they're not really doing anything to change. They're running the same thing over and over and over again. 3 on A, 2 on B, just having D back off. So if this continues to happen, maybe we have to see perhaps even a tactical timeout for them to be able to figure out what's going wrong. But,
I like this little pace change, though. The early push out of hookah actually going to result in a kill with the stinger going the way of Spooky. Mustard now having to be a little more cautious, is looking to just regress right off the bat, though. The nade finds Kyle before he can cross out. No, not enough util there from Spooky to cover the cross and exit from the nade. So, Stormtroopers, having gone 1-for-1 in the end, are just going to probably group up here. Waiting for the wall to decay a little bit. And Alpha actually reworking showers as well. Spooky at the same time, though, maintains information that it's not coming up B, not coming up Sands. Mustard spams down the wall. Sky smokes in. Alpha finds Killa in heaven with the Phantom. Sky was a first pick for a reason.
One enemy remaining.
Chasey finds Tommy. Alpha again with the second. And it's just breaking down to an entry difference. Stormtroopers really are just storming onto site. Unlike their namesake, they are hitting shots. And
the teabag from Chasey.
The tactical crouch.
Oh, tactical crouch. Not
an ever-present danger in these lobbies. So sad.
It is sad to see. I'd be inclined to agree. And now,
you can't help but wonder, you know, is Stormtroopers comp actually more even defense favored than it is on attack, because you have that Killjoy util, obviously with the range on her alarm bot and her turret, it's not as quite effective as watching the flank. And also the ultimates available for Stormtroopers are just big. While that was more of a save round from Big Macs, you can't help but wonder, are they ever going to adjust to the pace that Stormtroopers are keeping them at?
You should run.
I mean, Spooky's caught out yet again. And oh, Mustard's already in sight, so Kissel's positioning, it's all for naught. He gets taken down immediately by that Spectre of Mustard. Now Killer just trying to play at this back. He's got the AWP, finds the...
I'm pretty sure Mustard has had that Spectre since round 2. I'm not, or around 3 rather, whenever that one round Mustard has died and was caught out. This is just brutal. Stormtroopers just tearing away map control before Big Macs can really do anything about it. And like you said, they're just giving up so much space, like without fighting over it at all, really. I'd maybe like to see a little more aggression on those extremities, because, you know, that's what yielded them that first pick 2 rounds ago, even on the weaker buy. But it is the save from the last 2 players from the Jet and the Reigns.
Yeah.
The lockdown, and another thing, Spooky's, you know, positioning there alone in V-Long. Mustard actually going to go down to the spike, body falling through the teleporter, is, you know, going to incidentally make it a little more costly for Stormtroopers, but economy probably isn't too much of an issue for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really unfortunate. As we've said time and time again, Big Macs have not changed a single thing since round 1. And it just seems they keep playing the same way. They pulled Spooky and Kyle back for this round, and we're going to have to see how that pans out. But it just seems like, you know, this B site is way too vulnerable, so maybe sending one over from A is the right choice.
I would love to see some more util just trying to catch out players during that aggression, like a Sky Pop flash out of Tube or something, but Big Macs, they seem to just be playing for retakes whilst not actually doing anything to prevent Stormtroopers from setting up for the post plant. So it's just, these rounds are often lost as soon as the bomb goes down. Tommy rather, swinging from showers, gets caught by Chasey, who's just now marching up. Sky Smoke's coming down soon. Ducks, balls, and lamps, and the boombot breaks. The orbital strike comes out. Killer forced out of heaven. Spooky actually does find Alpha on the cross, but the incendiary going into CT. The res comes out onto the sky, and any sort of advantage is just getting whittled away by the ultimates.
To heaven. Oh, this is actually a big opportunity. We see Kyle and Killa finding Tomas and Chasey respectively.
Killa with the up.
This wall is massive, and they've got everyone in a corner here. It's going to be a matter of whether Kissel is able to get something big with this Starcy. It's going to be running right into Mustard with that Spectre here, and he's not able to find the kill. Mustard takes the first, and now walking back around, that Spooky going down, and that might just be...
Killa just going to have to save the op, fall away, maybe find one getting overzealous into the CT, but Mustard still Spectre in a hand. He's not looking not looking under pressure at all. Stormtrooper is just exploding onto sites and getting away with it time after time after time. Big Mac need to find a response, and they need to find it fast. This op now moving over to the hands of Kyle. The buy overall is there, but you know, you have a Bulldog, it's scattered. And they're actually going to be rotating Kyle over into this heaven position with the operator now. And I hope it's for, you know, maybe using some of that raise util to slow the hookah takes as they come in.
Yeah, we do see Mommy Milkers with this Roblox gun, as it is so called. Pretty simple, but early push on here.
Minima.
Again, hookah control just giving right over to Stormtroopers. Nice nade though, and that's exactly what you want the raise over here for.
Good seekers as well, just trying to deny as much of that map control as possible. You still have Alpha here lingering right outside the teleporter and B long, maybe looking to run a quick showers pinch as the site hit comes in. But Big Mac's actually, lack of rotation has actually helped them here. You know, you have 3 players coming up short for Stormtroopers. Might just be walking into that setup from Tommy, presumably. Yeah, Alpha takes the TP. Sky flashes through. Spooky setup in lamps here, looking to find one as they come out onto the site. But there's still enough time here. Tomas BS goes down. Kyle just holding with that operator. The Killjoy gets one for the trade, but Big Macs actually seem to have a pretty good hold on this site. Maybe Stormtroopers will identify the fact that there's nobody over on the B site now and make the quick rotation, and it seems like it's coming through. The two players running over through Market, pushing into Hookah, but Kyle might actually beat them to the punch. Operator's holding the angle. Chakey actually beats him.
10 seconds left.
Plant's gonna go down, and now it's Big Macs on the back foot.
Back foot. Now it does seem that Sage is going to come in for a TP, but the Killjoy from Stormtroopers
will be able to pinch their market.
Tommy's second to find something big here, and he does. Chasey
Bulldog Gaming.
down.
One enemy remaining.
Mustard identified. They don't know where the last player is.
No charges left.
They think he's
They're
long.
They're clearing out long.
Oh, he reveals himself.
Yeah, he made a noise. But the Nanoswarm actually going to take him down. Spooky gets the trade, but there should be enough time. Yes, and there is. There's more than enough time for this diffuse to come through, and Big Macs, hopefully, it's scrappy, but it's a round, and every round counts at this point.
I mean, absolutely. Big Macs finally able to get another one on the board here. We do see Spooky 9 and 7. Duck's still trying to break his way in. You know, maybe just not his game so far, but he is seeming to drop that donut.
Yeah, it's the classic, you know, the bong car. You know, you don't get a lot of value in the kill feed, but your IGLing invaluable. Just don't look at the score either. Anyway, nice early aggression here through showers for Stormtrooper. Big Mac looked to be posted for it as Duck's actually he's on the board.
He got it.
We cursed him in a beneficial way. So the Sova now on the board, you know, maybe that's all it takes. One kill, suddenly he's going to become the best player in the lobby. Just needed his one.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Ducks. I mean, I'd trust him with my newborn child if he was on that Sova. And yeah, it seems like Mommy Milker 65 is going to be rotating back around B. However, it does seem Kyle never rotated off, so now he's going to just have to guard from there. However, we do see Sage on Sage Violence, perhaps coming up on Showers very soon.
The
Sage
swing from Tomas is good.
Wow.
And the kill from the Sage is just showing enough presence that, you know, Big Macs really haven't invested any rotates yet. The lockdown's going to come in, try to force anybody in that long position out of it. Initially also put some more pressure on Kyle in the backside.
30 seconds left.
Mustard, though, lurking on the raise, does find Spooky. Flash out there for Alpha. Explosion onto site. The gravel is actually going to vulnerable up 2 players, but Alpha fearlessly holds the angle. And that's sight for the side of Stormtroopers. Spooky goes down on the flank. Mustard now trapped in the teleporter, but Tommy identified. It's going to be swung on as soon as one gets contact. Tommy finds the first, actually. Tommy got his one. Good for his one. Can always count on him for that.
Yeah, it turned it into a potentially winnable scenario now for Big Macs as Kizzle pushes up long. He's going to have to try to force one or two of these players out, but it's Tomas with
BS,
3.
good for his third on the round. Alpha with the last, and Stormtroopers really are just running away with this half. There was, you know, flashes of hope from Big Macs, but really it's fading fast.
I mean, you gotta hope to get at least one more here if you're Big Macs. I mean,
Right.
defense-sided map, you can say that all you want.
Need every round you can get.
Yeah, 9 and 3 curse, it's real. If they get one more round, I believe that they're gonna be able to turn it all around. But as we do see Stormtroopers with a firm grasp on the balls of this series, and oh, Kyle, he's on an eco, doesn't even have a gun to be able to hold here. He might just be early peeking. Yeah, he does.
One with the deagle. Kyle, you know, maybe you should have been just swinging out Hook earlier. Maybe that's the answer. As we all know, classic rule of Valorant, swing everything, you'll never be punished.
Yep, run and gun, swing everything. That's just about how it goes, and now Mustard Insight does find Kyle, and you know, they absolutely completed. That's 2 through TP now, so it will just be hookah and long pressure potentially if Tommy rotates around.
Bomb's gonna go down. So much util available in the post plant, though. None of it's really going to make a difference. Alpha finds the all-important kill on Tommy, and now it's just 2v4. Orbital Strike going to force two players for Big Macs back a little bit more. And honestly, this is just a lost round. But you know, you get an eco, you try to fight it back as best you can on the last round of the half. Maybe get as much momentum going as possible into the halftime. And Mustard, you know, sticking with the Spectre. There's an opportunity for maybe recovering a gun here, but kill is going to go down.
The funny thing is, Mustard has had many opportunities to pick up like Phantoms and Vandals and all that, but he has stayed loyal to his Spectre.
Willingly locking into the Spectre. So, you know, it's those, like, maybe not the best all-around weapon for the choice for decision, but, you know, when you're a player like Mustard and you're just going to want to be taking fights as soon and as quickly as possible, a little running gun, you know, might be your best friend.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking full advantage of the mobility of Raze, just being able to get in there, do damage, find kills where he shouldn't, honestly, and it looks like this is going to be a fast A push. They're taking showers, they took Orb, and I mean, this is very fast. They're already planting.
There's also a fast double flank, though, coming in. Chasey's position might be identified by that Seeker. Still good for his one, though. And Kyle, the full post plant is going underway with just, you know, 4 players in showers. Showstopper available for Mustard, but he goes down. Alpha somehow doesn't die there. And the Duck's good for it, too, and it's a 1v1 suddenly. No real damaging utility available. Kyle's just going to want to take this duel as quick as possible. Finds it, and he's going to have enough time. 9-3 half.
The 9-3 curse. Oh no.
You know,
Stormtroopers, what have you done? You've cursed yourselves.
Ducks gets those kills where he takes them, and, you know, sometimes you just spray an Odin through 2 walls.
I mean,
very nice responsive play from Big Macs there to, you know, identify the fast push out of showers, send those 2 players who normally anchor down that B side on the quick flank, go 1 for 1 there, and then just keep trading out on the site, and eventually, you know, sometimes you can just rely on your players' innate mechanical abilities to win out. You know, a lot of these players on Big Macs have been playing in BPL for a while, so they're used to team structure, they're used to, like, being forced to, you know, click heads, and it'll work. Sometimes it just works itself out.
Absolutely. Sometimes it just does. It does look like Big Mac's absolutely favoring an A site, which is better for them, as Stormtroopers have stacked 3 at B, 2 here. It's really going to be on this Brimstone, and U-Haul to be able to scout this out, see if you can find something early, and
get some big Killjoy utility. It's going to... The Molly's out from Chasey, intent on slowing as much of that push as possible. Mustard's going to be rotating over quickly. Alpha maybe holding his tongue just a moment on it. Killjoy util and the threat of Mio Mummy Milker 65 still await that B site, as Big Macs actually look a little bit indecisive, faking a rotate away, but not really enough to pull a substantial amount of players away now that Chasey's also expended his incendiary. It looks like Big Macs are actually just going to try to attempt a similar execute to what Stormtroopers did on the last round of their attack half. Pistols creeping up showers.
Mind games on mind games. This pistol is so important, and it looks like they've broken on the site.
Wall
nice
comes in. Duck actually catches Mustard before Mustard can nade the plant spot, if he even had it.
Very big. And now walking up.
Killa tosses a nade into heaven. 4v5 retake in favor of Big Mac. Killa goes down. Tomas BS good for his own. Stormtroopers have regained showers control or lamps control rather, and it's just Tommy's not alone. Classic right click doesn't work that magic always, and Chasey just getting in the reps, getting in the squats. You know, you gotta take the exercise where you can.
Yep. exercise where you can, and it looks like Chasey is exercising that right to remain toxic. We do kid, obviously. It's all fun and games here.
No, actually,
Victory Valorant
I
Invitational.
Chasey, if you're rewatching the VOD at any point, we all have deeply personal grudges against you for teabagging. That's not
We
okay.
hate you. Like we hate you. That's it.
In all seriousness, Stormtroopers have not stepped off the gas at all. Quick on those retakes, quick flooding out of CT, finding those picks, reclaiming lamps control nice and early, and shoving the pressure back onto Big Max to really make something work. The value menu can only get you so far as Alpha peeks out with a Marshall, finds the first onto Kyle. And the force up, it seems, from Big Mac not going to be working out as Mustard finds the raise. And Big Macs are stuck in hookah. Chasey going to be able to smoke the hookah window from his current position. Mustard actually just jumping up and re-exploring. Big Mac maybe trying to make Stormtrooper sweat out some rotates first, but Mustard looks like he jiggled out there. Spotted one. He's swinging for more, perhaps? As he finds Ducks, taken down to low health. Spooky going to be trying to reclaim that space, fight him back, trade him out if possible. Flash out for the sky, but actually looks like a little self-blind. Chasey pushes through the teleporter, finds a headshot onto Spooky. Now it's just Tommy in a 1v4. Goes down to Mustard, and the economy's just got to be in the dumps after this.
I mean, absolutely. What can you do if you're Big Max here? I mean, Stormtroopers, like, with Mustard at the helm here, just getting so many picks. He got 3 in that last turn. It just seems like he is unstoppable. He's the aggressive guy. He's leading the charge, and, he's a really smart man. So I'm guessing he's calling these rotates as well. And, I mean, I don't know what you do here if you're Big Max. You're getting out-mechanicked, out-thunk, outsmarted, I guess. And it just seems like Stormtroopers, they knew what they wanted to do. They came into the game, and they just did it. And coming into this round, it's looking like that again with Chasey pushing all the way up A.
Chasey's pushed up close, and prediction that, they're going to explode out this B smoke, and they're just going to not check their corners, which, even at the pro level, is a very real possibility. Killa spots Mustard. Mustard is continually pushing down Sand, though, the smoke from Chasey to assist. And Big Macs, they've, in the few attacking rounds we've seen them, they've done a pretty good job of managing to make Stormtroopers sweat a little bit, knowing when to, hold off on the aggression. But the guns are in the favor of Stormtroopers, the momentum's in the favor of Stormtroopers, the kills now going the way of them as well. Chasey manages to find 2 from that position. Duck's good for the trade eventually, but it's slipping away. Tommy Slot, actually, though, finds the flank of Mustard, and this might signal a re-aggression over towards the B site. Or no, the flash out for Spooky. Skies trade their flashes, and Big Macs are still stuck in the bottom of this A short.
Yep, it will be a 2v3 if they do choose to push A, as the Killjoy is stacked around towards B. Alpha just fighting for this position, but Tomas is fighting for his life, finds Tommy. Now Alpha landing a couple shots. Dux does trade that onto Tomas.
Teleporter comes through.
Teleport comes through, but Mommy Milkers, they're
waiting
here.
For the tap with the... Oh, this could be disastrous.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah.
There it is.
Ooh.
The Killjoy Molly just set on the default plant spot, waiting for that B hit to come through. That one's... Yeah, that's a round loss you hate to see.
Match point.
Sometimes the Viper Molly comes from the sky. KJ Molly gets popped from a place you can't shoot it, and you think, maybe I can just get this bomb down in time, and it doesn't work out that way.
Unfortunately so for Big Macs, and now match point 3-12 here. I mean, Dux, he's picked it up in this defensive half. I cannot lie. He was 1-11, 1-12, I believe, and now he's picked it up to 6. I mean, unfortunate that this is how it's going to have to be in this match point scenario. If they are able to get this round, it's going to go on and on and on. But it does look like an A push where there are 2, but showers, the Sage's showers, are they going to be able to pick up anything here? They're in a really good position to find something sneakily. And, oh, I wish we could see over there, see just what's going on.
The wall came in from the Sage, it looks like. As it did, Spooky's just going to be wide swinging out. Guns him down with the Phantom. No, that's a first pick Big Mac need.
Why this... Why'd Spooky take that? Sami's one off a res.
The fundamentals for Big Mac, as we touched on before, they're maybe not the most experienced Valorant players, maybe not the most cohesive unit just yet. Mechanical ability. And Dux actually manages to find the first one on the flank. Kyle trades it out. And now we have to see what Big Mac do. And they know they have certain amounts of map control, whether they just go for the site hit where they're already grouped up, or if they go for a quick rotation, time burning down. Flash not quite there for Spooky. Sky walks out onto site, and Chasey might just... Chasey's holding it. Finds it as the wall goes up.
And that wall stops.
Nice trigger discipline there from Chasey. But the round goes to Big Mac in the end. Kizzle and Killa find their kills.
Here it comes, the reverse. I mean, not sweep, but the reverse, the comeback, I guess.
I'm going to say
starts here.
If there ever were a time for a comeback, it would be now. All right, Big Mac, you have my blessing. Run.
As a good friend of mine said, when things become grim, you...
Oh.
They have a lot of ultimates to be able to keep things rolling. They're going to have to psych them well. Mustard with an early peek does not quite catch.
Rookie actually solo aggroing up this B long here. Just trying to bait out maybe the wide swing from Alpha. These players pushing up sand slowly. A slow and a sky smoke actually, just to prevent anything more from happening over on the hookah side. But Rookie does pick up Alpha. Sky ult seekers out. The side hit comes through. They're clearing pretty effectively. Mustard and Chasey trapped in hookah and teleporter respectively. The Killjoy actually good for the kill there. Chasey finds one with the orbital strike, but Killa good for 2. Res from Tommy comes in, but the Killjoy just mows it down. Stormtroopers, both players on low, everybody in the server on low health. It's going to be all on Killa here. So Mustard might actually be able to get the... No, there are no friendly bodies close enough to get that res. Killa slowly pushing out, Boombot out, identified, finds the kill. So 1v1, extremely low health for both. The first bullet to connect will win this. The Killjoy doesn't quite catch the timing.
Oh no, that's
really quite tragic.
Abysmal.
The plane's going to get to go down, and a no charge blast pack enough to knock over the Killjoy for Stormtroopers at this point. So it's really entirely down to a mind game here of whether or not Killa can manage to bait a deep enough swing that he can kill with a showstopper. It's just immense pressure from both in the 1v1. And this pathing is odd. The Killjoy, working slowly through market through a short. The footstep here is going to eventually be heard because he's going to have to start running.
Time
ticking down. Player identified, and Killa just keeping himself alive. The bomb's going to go off, and Big Mac get their 5th round. It's not pretty. It's close, but it's something. And
Very well played.
This is how you build the comeback, round by round, whittling away at the economy.
I mean,
it's happening.
Things were grim. He became the Grim Reaper Killer, just living there, somehow dodging Mommy Milker 65 to be able to... I don't know how he made it through that CT spawn, but he did. And
that's a timing that you're going to be looking at the VOD and kicking yourself over.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, as you said, round by round, it all starts now, and Big Mac's going to have to keep this momentum going. Again, they still have a lot of ults. Dux does have his. However, res is still available on the other side as it was not used last round. And we'll have to see what Tomas can do with his op in heaven.
So Mustard must have identified that nobody's coming up hookah at this point, and the flash through from short is going to effectively give away that it's an A hit. Mustard actually going to be on that rotate now with a wall. Good to stop the push in its tracks. Tomas is actually able to get up into that extremely sharp angle. If Big Max decides to commit to this, he might actually be able to find a kill from that position. Killa, looking through the gap in the wall, might be able to look for one. The drone should spot out the Sage. The look over. Just
No!
dropped the line. This showstopper does so much damage, but to the wrong team. Killa can't quite connect Dux, though. Good for one. Chasey finds the trade. But Mustard's nade cleans up the opposing raise. Mustard a second with the showstopper, and you can't let it end like this if you're Big Mac.
Oh no!
The frenzy for the third, and the defuse is just going to come in, and there's not much Spooky can do to stop it. Peeks through, finds one, but won't manage to connect onto the second. Mommy Milker making up for his previous error. Stormtroopers pick up their 13th round, and I'd like to offer the sincerest of apologies to Big Mac and their families for caster cursing that, as I did.
Unfortunate, as we do see. Big Macs are going to be taking a loss here to Stormtroopers. I believe group stages are best of one.
Best of one, correct.
Yep. Spooky, he's doing good. I mean, unlike the rest of Big Macs, like we highlighted before the match, Spooky is a very good Valorant player. And I'm not quite sure where Optical Crash is. I know he's pretty good too. He might actually still be at school because I know he's West Coast as well as a child. So,
oh, well, it would make sense.
It would, Dux is the same, but Dux doesn't go to school. And coming back into this,
I think it just comes down to the difference in experience with the game, the comfort level of both of these teams. You saw, Stormtroopers much more willing to take fights, to be those aggressors. And on the other hand, you had Big Macs Kyle just repeatedly giving up that hookah position, despite the fact that he proved in later rounds that he can take and win those fights. So I would hope to see that Big Macs, start leaning a little bit more into their mechanical abilities as players, maybe spend some time in some DM lobbies, just getting more comfortable with the game. And the mechanics, the potential is there for this team, but a fantastic win for Stormtroopers. Really great note to start their group stage off.
Yeah, good start. I believe Stormtroopers will go up against, is it Two Timers? Yes, Two Timers, which is the Texas Money Junior team.
Now that is a threat of a team.
I mean,
there are two. Everybody who's watched BPL in the last year and a half knows what a mechanical nutcase Texas is. Also having Combo, that other Immortal player, and later on this stream, actually, we will have Catboy Inquisition up against Redhawks, which is, that's a match to look forward to. Redhawks, I believe, playing on the A stream right now, and they are up 11-9 over Stimulus Package. That's Georgie Boy's team, Redhawks, being captained by Brad Toxic himself.
Yeah, it's a very close game. I believe our next match cannot happen until the one on A is finished.
Yes, that's correct. As great and fantastic as these teams are, far be it from anyone to play two matches at the same time. And so, actually, that's an interesting point to think about. Catboy Inquisition. What are we thinking about them coming into this upcoming match against, perhaps a little bit of a tired Redhawks, having already played, however this match against Stimulus Package goes, played a very long day already.
I mean, I think Catboy Inquisition, I don't know if this is a hot take or not because I haven't really seen tier lists or anything. I think Catboy Inquisition is looking to be one of the top teams. You have Neo, who's very good mechanically, as well as Carter, who is the go-to Valorant guy. I mean, that's all he plays on stream, and he may be only gold now.
He does miss her. Who is her?
He does miss her.
He misses her. But yeah, Neo, Karts, Garden, who while is known to be a little bit down bad in the elo sometimes, still has phenomenal mechanics, phenomenal aim, a steady hand, and a pretty great leadership structure for Catboy Inquisition. So it should be a pretty interesting match, seeing them going up against the massive firepower of Redhawks. You have Cynex, Retrograde, the Gurgler. I love that name. But yes. So that's going to wrap up our first match here on the B stream. Do you want to take us out?
I mean, yeah, we will be back later, obviously, for the next game. So thank you all for watching. Head over to the A stream, and we will see you later.
I'll be the one. Let's stay together. I'll be the one. Let's stay together. I'll be the one. Let's stay together.
Welcome back to the very first day of the Victory Valorant Invitational. I am Rosauer, joined here by Stratocaster. We are going to be your casters for this second match of today, Catboy Inquisition versus Redhawks. Redhawks coming red hot in off a win over Stimulus Package just earlier over on the A stream. And yeah, I mean, both teams have so much firepower. These are easily two of the most mechanically proficient teams in the Invitational. And Strato, what do you have to say?
Oh, I think you hit it right on the head with that one. I mean, both of these teams absolutely stacked with talent. I mean, Redhawks, as you saw, they just came in with that win, and you really see people like Retrograde, Gurgler, Cynex, I know, was popping up, especially at the end there on Icebox. I mean, they really kind of helped their team against a very tough opponent. And on the other side, you see Catboy Inquisition with people like Neo, Karts, and newcomers such as Seeker. They really, I mean, Neo and Karts are known, and Seeker, I've seen him in Pugs. He's pretty dang good too. And it's really going to be a battle of the minds here because we know both teams have absolutely insane mechanical skill. And most of all, I think it's going to be the battle of the better red team. Which red team is going to be able to?
This is true. Legend says Invictus's favor always falls on the better red team. But I think the main thing to take away, like you said, is the battle of the minds. It's going to be the battle of the IGLs here. It's going to be how Retrograde can manipulate the Redhawks into winning positions versus whoever is primarily calling for Catboy Inquisition. These teams, they stack up mechanically so well against each other, and Redhawks, they're going to be looking to really heavily utilize their extremely versatile and deadly flex and initiator players. And Gurgler as well, they're a team that's not afraid to just take fights as like 3 or 4 and trade out rapidly and effectively. From what I've seen, they're looking extremely disciplined for a team that's been together even for such a short time. And Neo, Karts, Garden, some FPS veterans there. Garden's been playing in BPL for as long as I can remember. A very experienced competitor. And Karts, as you said earlier, he's Mr. Valorant at the moment. He misses her a lot, and I think we've got a real interesting match coming up here because if this graphic is to be believed, and we're playing on Haven, excuse me. It's Ascent. Either way, these are maps where Retrograde's main pick Sova will really come into play, and Cynex is free to lean a little bit more into the raw fragging power he has. Recently crowned Snowdown S League champion. So this is going to be a really interesting match, and Ascent as a whole comes a lot down to the defensive rotations you can pull off, how well you can maintain critical points in mid like Cat, and how effectively you can clear that util and push up through for like B executes and B splits. So this is really a match that's going to be decided by which team can better establish the pace, which team can choose to knock the other off their tempo and establish their own rhythm, their own flow. How well those Astra smokes can be thrown out, where those sucks are placed. The dart usage is also going to be extremely important, and any jet play we see, a good jet on Ascent can make or break a team just holding down mid. Same thing with a really good chamber.
I mean, you said it better than anyone else. This game hopefully going to be a great one coming into Ascent here. I'm looking forward to something funny though. I may have tuned into a cart stream here and there, and he does a little bit of the funny, and he seems to have recently grown a liking for the new agent Neon, who may not be particularly meta, but that's exactly who I want to see, and I think the fans, a lot of Kartsy fans in the audience today, probably want to see it as well.
There's always the threat of a Neon just hopping in, dashing at you, and then shorting you twice in the face. 10x over in Korea, really making it glaringly obvious that there is something to be had with this agent. We've seen, a little bits and pieces of her over in the VCT, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing much of it today. It does look like the card's Reyna, if I'm not wrong. So Reyna's always a very interesting pick to see on this map because much like a good Jet and like most good duelists in general, an explosive Reyna can really, really make or break your offensive half because it just allows you to burst onto sites, break open those crossfires that are normally being held down by Astra Stars, by KJ Util, being held by like a Sova with the dart in hand. And it's just going to be a really big indicator of how effectively this Catboy Inquisition team can, again, break up that defensive pacing. Starting out on the defense, it's going to be really reliant on, how well they can hold those crossfires, how well they can utilize the Brim Util to like really, really slow down Redhawks' pace. But, yeah, so go ahead, take us into this round. Let's see what they have cooked up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these compositions. I mean, I'm liking both teams, but I am quite confused. I mean, Brimstone, he has his moments, sure, where he can be good, but I just think the Astra is one of the most essential parts of every team comp, especially on Ascent here. So I'm thinking that right off the bat, you've got to give the Redhawks a little bit of an advantage, especially with Gurgler, a guy who's so mechanically skilled as well as just so smart and knows a lot about this game. I'm giving the advantage to them, but coming right off this bat, it seems to be an A fast push here. Cynex leading the charge with Seal CEO right behind, running right into Neo, who gets pinged, and the dash comes in from Cynex. Does he catch anything? No, Neo actually gets out there and
gets out.
Shots traded back and forth. The ping will come out. However, sight now gained for Redhawks.
5v5 retake, that hell position is going to be extremely important. Seal CEO, no more of those nanoswarms left in hand. The Sage Wall actually used on Generator. I wonder if that was maybe a botched boost. Sky flash out onto site. Two fled in through door. Actually hold their tongue.
Oh,
the dog gets the stun. Not quite the dog kill.
Carter comes out, finds two, gets traded by Cynex. Cynex actually finds two, and Retrogate, oh my lord, finds two of his own.
Cynex Jet just comes alive. As Catboy Inquisition, collapses onto site. Redhawks state, you're not in here. We're not in here with you. You're in here with us. Cynex and Retro, the two, star fraggers for Redhawks, just pummel their way through the retakers.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get much better than that. Cynex showing why he did so well last match and continuing in on this match. He is hot. He is, he may be on the red team, whether you take that as red and green in Valorant or just red overall for Redhawks, but he is on fire right now, and he's just rolled it straight up from last game, and he's going to hope to continue. Buys a Phantom second round and is already walking in. Does not quite catch Carter on that tree area. And they're already on point. Dream is so hot, not quite sure who that is. I've seen the name.
That's toxic. That's toxic. That's our very own Bradley Toxic. Yeah, we're gonna see some. If the rumors of Dream is so hot's might are to be believed, we are going to be seeing some wacky Sage antics here. And we have the 4-man core of Redhawks there to make it so that the mania of Dream is so hot is tempered a little bit. Retrograde.
Wait, give him the ace.
4 ecos, just pushing, looking for the 5th, is going to get it. That is a second round ace for the side of Redhawks. Sure, it's against pistols, but the last thing you want is a team coming off a win to be building up ahead of steam.
Yeah, it just seems like, again, it's kind of just what team knows what they're doing, how they're going to take, and how they're going to retake. And especially with that round, it just seems, dominant from Redhawks. I mean, it is only round 2, so as I say that, this should be a full buy round from Catboys, allowing them to retake. But, I mean, what more could you want?
I actually really want to see, Catboy Inquisition try to take a little bit more Space away in mid. Neo with the Judge actually going to find Synex. Dies before he can dash away. I want to see, you know, Catboy Inquisition trying to take more map control, because, you know, the Brim and the Reyna really lend themselves to being more active on the defense. You know, you can get those picks, fall off, dismiss away, hide, even lurk in the so much as lurking in the sky smokes, and really, Redhawks just taking a pause here.
Slowing things down, waiting for their opening, exactly what they should be doing here in the 4v4 scenario when they have lost one of their big players, big impact. And now coming around, there will be some scrappy fighting over here at the door, and Catwalk seems COCO finds the better of Carter and Michael. Also known as Gurgler finds a headshot straight in the Eastern and will be the rotate all the way around the B side. No one is holding this, but there is KJ.
Retrogrades in tree. Retrogrades pushed into their spawn, and if they catch the right timing here, you might just find both. Finds the first, doesn't quite get the second, but a little bit of chip damage onto Seeker. Bomb's gonna go down.
Yeah, Mercury may not be in retrograde, but it will be retrograde in the back of your team. And now as we watch Seeker just trying to find something here, it will be the 1v3 trying to sneak around this left side. Clears it out, knows that they all have to be on site. A nice boost.
The Sage Wall.
Toxic.
Oh,
they don't know where he is.
Toxic is in the skybox. It's only round 3, man. You can't be doing this to us. Luckily, we don't have to watch Seeker get demoralized by being struck out of the air by that. But yeah, Redhawks, a sense of very defensively favored map, and 3 pretty easy rounds for Redhawks so far. You can't help but maybe already start to sweat a little bit for Catboy Inquisition.
Yeah, their palms are sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti, all that. And coming in here, Catboy is looking to be potentially one of the best teams coming into this tournament, coming off to a slow start like this. Hopefully it doesn't get into their heads. And now, as we see Brad Toxic, Dream is so hot, he could have gotten that orb for the res, and it looks like he will double back and grab it. Coming in here, oh, they will have to deal with
the double stack over into Generator just shattered. The Sova ult break those players up. Synex is more than happy to just feast on the kills as they're forced to flood out. Bomb's gonna get planted, and that was a ridiculously efficient execute. You know, so good from Retrograde to just identify those players. Generator, pop that super early Sova ult off that second round ace. And, you know, as Catboy Inquisition might, this round just doesn't look like it's going to go in their favor. Synex with 4. Hunting for the 5th. Hears him. And Seeker lays him out with the Bucky.
Bucky Gaming.
And Synex is not being nice to his keyboard there in all chat. Oh, that's a TOS word. That's a special little word there from Synex. But yeah. Another just fantastic fast execute from Redhawks. Just blitzing in before the defensive util can come through, and that's another benefit of, you know, not having to play into the Astra on the other side. You don't have to worry about that suck stopping your jet dash halfway. You can just explode onto site, and really the only thing that can maybe stop you if they're in the right place is a well-placed molly from the Sat Brim. It's not looking fantastic to start off for Catboy Inquisition. Cynic's already dashed out onto Switch, maybe looking to take the fight. Sappy gets the kill.
Yeah.
Spike down.
Nice from him. Picks up the 2 there, and now walking back, got the molly down. Seal CEO gets traded out, but it will be Michael who finds the better of Sappy here now. Placing down those stars, just trying to get across. He does have this Phantom, and he's got a good chunk of health to work with here. Now the 2v2 Secret is on site, and it looks like, oh, he lost his head. Retrograde finds it with the Phantom, and now trying to work his way back on the site will be Neo, working into these Astra Stars. Oh, bad timing there from Michael. Just doesn't quite find him, and now planting the spike. This will be all down to Neo here to see whether he wants to save or whether he wants to be the hero that Catboy, not Catboy crew, but the Catboy team does deserve. And nope, Retrograde. Another nice kill there, 3 for him in the round, and it will be 5-0 Redhawks.
You know, the whispers in the wind of the scrims. Retrograde is normally more confident with his Phantom, and, you know, Phantom in hand, an immortal player in a lobby like this can do some serious damage, as we can see. You know, 12-1 On the 6th round, he's rocking over a 2 KDA right now, a 2 KDR rather, more than 2 kills per round is retrograde right now. That's kind of ludicrous, especially for, you know, a person who's not even doing your main entrying.
Yeah, it's just really tough for Catboys right now. I mean, Meester, he's having a hard time getting anything, using his util to the best of his ability, but not being able to really set his team up either. Almost gets caught out here. He will make it up.
It is tough out here for Catboys. The lockdown comes through. Redhawks explode onto site, but the flank, nice little quick flank from Neo, might be able to make something work.
On site, they are planning already. Door will be coming down here. However, as you said, Neo on that flank gonna have to deal with the KJ turret. Looking back there, not quite in his line of
I believe
vision,
the KJ turret's looking onto site.
I think he has a Bucky
Neo,
though.
I mean, if he just switches to his classic, he might. I think he's been identified.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
It's tough to see what's going on.
They've spotted him. The knife popped, but spammed down to 1. Secret though does connect onto retrograde. This is actually doable here with this double stack.
Oh, he finds the timing. Unfortunately, CLCEL, his timing's better. You know, A-League champion, and now gets the 3Ks popping off. What can't this guy do?
No, I also want to give big props to the Gurgler over these last few rounds. The Astro Smokes, you know, coming in right where needed, and Gurgler himself has been, you know, putting himself in a position to, you know, trade out for those early contact kills. He hasn't really been needed on them quite as much because, you know, if Redhawks have just been winning out on the starting duels anyway. But a very proactive Astro player, which, you know, can often be forgotten how much an Astro player can provide from a firepower point of view. You know, you think about the gravity wells, and this early aim main aggression isn't really going to work out in favor of Catboy Inquisition. They get the info, but they fall off.
Yep. Neo is hiding in this hell area. He does peek and is spotted out. I mean, potentially bad from him as they had no idea he was there. You could have popped out later, but it looks to be a rotate with, you know, the Sova falling extremely low on Redhawks, and it will be
Seals lurked up Cat, yeah.
Somehow finds Carter there. Another great pick from him, just lurking as you said. Now the rotate will come out. Looks like B site hit. Pushing up through mid is the Gurgler, just trying to take this, make sure no one can do anything with it. He will not see Sat B, actually.
Synex on the mother of all angles here in mid. Gonna fall off. Gurgler takes out 2, though, swinging into CT. And there is, again, the very, like, willing to take gunfights Astra. Often underappreciated Meester, you know, not gonna let him get away with the 3rd, but still low HP, and it's a 2v4 retake here. Synex holding down mid with the op, doesn't quite connect. You know that higher ping opping can sometimes be rough. Let's just call it the internet. Neo's gonna just Neo and Meester are just gonna save these guns, yeah.
I mean, as we see, Redhawks, they're absolutely dominant. I'd say Ascent looking even better than Icebox was for them last game. It's Neo doing I'm not exactly sure what he's doing right now. I mean,
checking out the scenery,
checking out the ceiling.
It's a wallbang lineup. You wouldn't understand.
Trying to keep things light for his team, as I'm sure there might be a bit of, you know, bad feelings, bad thoughts going around right now.
You really have to double down on keeping comms in a good situation when you're down like this. And yeah, you know, sometimes a little silly turning your DPI up and just flicking the mouse around will accomplish that.
Yep, and another round on the board for Redhawks, 7-0 now, and they've held on to these ults for a good while. Don't even need to use them to be able to get onto these sites. It's just they're playing around. They know exactly where to stay, and watching it now. I mean, when your worst player is a British guy on a lot of ping, and you're still 7-0. I mean, that says a lot about the rest of your team. Right now, Redhawks, a nice split push here with the Sova coming in A. I mean, they're looking really clean.
This is a setup here from Seeker. You know, the turtle take first contact. It actually might spot out that player boosted up on the sage wall.
Swarm grenade out.
Swarm grenade comes out, and Now it's going to be on Seeker to just stay alive as long as he possibly can
Placing swarm
as
grenade.
this sight hit comes through.
Oh, uncharacteristic miss there by the Jet, and now being
Neo's-
pushed.
Gurgler, though, waiting up by the door, is going to find Neo, and the trades are going in favor of Redhawks. I feel like a broken record at this point. Carter finds Retrograde.
One enemy remaining.
Do all catch Cynex with the knives, but it will be Toxic actually picking up his first 2 of the game. You know, maybe
Toxic.
proving to us that Dream is very hot. He may be the Minecraft speedrunner. I don't exactly know if he does anything more than that, but you know, he's also apparently good at Valorant now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just waiting flush up against that Astra wall. You see the Reyna flash through, and you just hold down M1. Easy 2K. Toxic. Now again, I want to see even with these worst weapons in hands, I want to see, you know, Catboy and Inquisition try to fight for a little bit more, but you can't just dry swing when they know mid when you know there's an op waiting for you. Meester taken down early, lockdown for A site, and can't help but feel like this is just the round already.
It's just so cut and dry. Like, they have better mechanics, they have better rotates, and right now it just seems they have better, like, entire sense of the game. Just trying to spam things out doesn't quite catch on anyone. Walking back, Defender Killjoy will just be taken out with the Sova ult, so very smart from Retrograde. And now it doesn't even get punished for it, as Safi does not quite peek fast enough, and he loses their head. Sorry, their head. I maybe misspoke earlier, but it will be Redhawks taking yet another round, 9-0. And
Out of
I mean,
charges.
what can you do if you're Catboy? What can you do? Come
You're
on,
under so much pressure. You need to find a round somehow. You need to maybe take these guns that you're going to be able to bring into this round and, you know, fight for A main with your Brim ult or something. You just need to be proactive. This comp relies on proactivity, and it just feels like Redhawks have just asserted their dominance to the point where, you know, Catboys, you know, if they're not just dry peeking mid, they're huddling up in the back of heaven, just waiting for the sight hit to come through. Then no smokes, no nothing to impede Redhawks' progress as they scale. And this op once again posted up in mid. It's going to be on Meester to maybe flash out and find something, but he'll be alone if he does it.
Nice cap push here again. How does he consistently do it? Every time Sissio has done that
Seal.
at caught Carter, that's at least the 3rd time, and now Sight is free yet again.
CLCEO is such a fantastic anchor and lurker for this team. You know, he will be the one to, you know, maintain map control or slow push other parts of the map while you have your Retrograde Cynex Gurgler core just pummeling through A main. The long flank from Neo is, well, CLCEO, ever the businessman, seems ready for it. You know, the alarm bot's set up.
Placing swarm grenade.
He's got the lineups.
Here comes the orbital strike. Trying to find something.
Oh, and it just out aims Neo there.
Seal is more than happy to take those gun duels. You know, you're up 9-0, everyone's feeling nice and warm, coming off the back of a win, and you are steaming. Gurgler actually hunting for these last 2 kills, followed up by CLCEO. Gonna push into spawn, finds 1, and
Oh!
Thatby takes out 2.
Yeah, they're able to find 2 kills right there. I mean, the economy is still great for Redhawks, and I mean,
At least you got your Twitter clip, right? The quick little double spray down.
I don't know if that's what they're gonna want as their Twitter clip with that 0-10 in the top.
No,
But
you just crop it out. It's nice and easy.
just crop it out. Hope nobody fact checks them. But you know, hopefully the mental's still going strong here for Catboys. But yet another round seems to be pushing A. They can do no wrong here. And oh, Cynex gets Meester, but Meester gets Seal CEO. Not exactly sure how that all conspired.
The marshal
but
rings
res
out, but the res has come through as, you know, it's body blocking the body. You know, you're making sure you're, like, Seal's getting res, you're making sure you're keeping your friends safe. Retrograde is going to connect onto Carter, though. The dart through the smoke gives him the wall hacks.
Oh.
Neo, though, the judge in tree manages to find 2. He's going to pick up a gun, it looks like. And the support should be here from Seeker. Balls. Still, by all means, a winnable round.
Definitely winnable.
You see Toxic considering the judge pick up there. There's something deep. There's a demon within this man waiting to be awoken. They've never been on the back foot to make it a necessity. Retrograde's going to be posted up holding the off angle for CT now, and Satby finds him.
Yeah.
This Brimstone maybe not getting the most value out of util, but currently pretty much leading the way in terms of frags.
Yeah, I mean, Sappy, they've been really great, especially this past couple rounds, and unfortunately, Cynex has been just a little bit better, especially with this op. That's three.
Sometimes you just have no choice but to double dry swing an op, and sometimes the Jet will just kill both of you. It's that last little retake was just unfortunate, really, for Catboy Inquisition not having the util available to, force Cynex into an uncomfortable position there.
Yeah. I mean, this game, I hate to call it early, but maybe I'll cast or curse it so Catboys come back. This game's looking over, team.
I've seen Redhawks go from a 10-2 lead to it was like a 11-13 finish. So it's happened.
It's happened, but those teams got at least 2 rounds.
Well, maybe. I mean, you never know. This could be one round right here. While we've been just talking idly, 2 kills have gone the way of Catboy Inquisition. A third going over to Neo, and Knives online. Carter still posted up in A main. Full B side control. Redhawks actually sort of just taking a moment to take stock here and recollect. Looks like they're going to be trying to bring things over to the B site. This, if any, is going to be Toxic's moment to just walk in and get that mid-air headshot with the Phantom.
Yeah, Retrograde with great mid control right now. They have a lot of different sight lines, but Catboy, they're just playing really reserved here, not wanting to overextend and give away their advantage. Unfortunately, untimely, and now it seems Cynex dropping the AFK in chat. We know it's not true, but Retrograde actually opens it up, finds a kill on the Sappy, and now walking forward, Dream is so hot. Triggers the alarm bot, but gets the door down, and now it is a 1v2 over here on this site, so they're gonna have to walk forward and walk fast. Oh no, it's a 2v2 now. They've evened things up. This is not what Catboy wanted. And now onto the platform area is the rest of the team, and Neo does find a kill on the Retrograde, and watch this! Kills Streaming so hot, so finally a round on the board for Catboys.
That's all it takes. You get the first round, and the second, and the third, and suddenly you're steaming. A glimmer, a shine, a shimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel for Catboy Inquisition. It's just something, anything to lean on at this point. But yeah, not the worst possible way to end the half. And there was still a lot of very great individual moments. You see Neo and Meester swinging out mid, connecting 1 or 2 at the start of it, and just Redhawks would stabilize later on in the round. But still, you have those very, very faint glimmers of, well, maybe this round is the round we can swing in our favor.
I mean, with that last round, certified hash moments. I think we can agree on that. Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Certified hash brown. Making it 11-1 curse. The Atomic players say in chat. Not that Atomic would ever know about being down or anything. So coming into this, it is a very fast push up. Cat 2 peek in A main early, so it's gonna be. They're now stuck actually, and it's gonna be up to the rest of them.
Carter fully running connects the headshot onto Retrograde with the pistol, and Catboys in a 3v5 advantageous post plant. Cynex knows Carter's there, but might not check this corner, and Seeker is going to be good for his 1. 3v2. Numbers starting to more heavily favor Catboy Inquisition. Neo doesn't let Carter be punished there, and Carter cleans up the last.
I mean, that is a big big round. I mean, if they lost that round, they would most likely lose the next one, and
It's a fantastic round to get the momentum back under your control as much as you can. Be proactive, take mid, fight up cat, fight through tree, and then have that one player waiting to sort of be your safety net in A main if the two stack in A main from Redhawks does like push out and does explore that instead of just fighting you. It was a really well thought out execute, which I wish I could say the same about their defensive setups, but every comeback starts somewhere.
I mean, and yeah, they really sped things up here for this attack. Walking forward, a nice flash out. Nobody gets caught there, despite a lot of people in the vicinity. Easter just looking for someone to shoot at, and it will be Sappy and Carter that find the first things. But however, someone's lurking in the smoke. Team, are they going to be able to turn around? They don't find anything. Somehow still CO doesn't find it. Will be Sappy there getting the first pick. And now Spike is down. It's a 1v5, and Redhawks going to need to maybe step things up.
Let's see how hot Dream is. Going to be slowly walking back up mid. I think was identified there with the stun off the dog, but I don't think the dog ever saw him. Sappy's good for it.
Yeah, nice 3K there from Sappy.
Flawless round. Means they're going to be able to keep these, carry these SMGs into the next round, all of them. Just a raw bonus, so that even if they do lose out for this, they'll be able to buy right back into it.
Yeah, it will be a full buy on the opposite side, though, which you got to be very scared of if you are Catboys. It's going to be half buy versus full buy. And
Toxic has the judge.
Toxic. Oh, never mind. They win. They got Toxic with the judge.
A main is going to be a very, very dangerous place to be. The Gurgler looking for a wallbang with the Guardian, most likely. The early slow orb. Here comes the wall. Judge identified. The flash through. Cynex smokes to stop it. Gonna spam down Meester.
Very, very well played. And as we say, the Judge gaming. Oh, Toxic with Judge. It's just too strong.
Again, if you're Catboys here, maybe you're fine to take away even 1 or 2 guns at this point. Maybe start re-exploring other parts of the map to re-push mid as 2. Just anything to sort of like maybe unbalance Redhawks as much as possible coming into this match point.
Absolutely, absolutely, and 2v5, they might just want to save what guns they have, so it's not a total conundrum coming in the next round. I mean, they should have enough to buy, hypothetically, Sappy not getting pinked by that. They will be peeking here to just see, and they know Neo's in that corner. He does manage to wrap around, and it'll be Sappy
First swing
to find something, and
Retrograde and Toxic just take it away.
Judge gaming.
Match point.
Judge gaming. So now, match point here, 3-12 in favor of the Redhawks. They did win their last match. Winning this one will guarantee them first in their division, or in their group, excuse me. And I mean, it's looking like it now. Both teams at a full buy. Toxic still with that Judge, though. What more could you need? And
Retrograde is at plus 15 right now. This guy is just unstoppable on the Sova. This Redhawks team is looking fantastic. They're looking dynamic. They're looking like they're not like encumbered by like the weight of their own roster, not a TSM level of suffering from success or just like being afraid to like actually lean into your roster's flexibility. They are fully in control of this series. But the super fast push up mid, gonna find 2.
Yeah, this is great from them. I'm loving this aggression, No mid really being held here from Redhawks, and now this A site completely free. I mean, Sappy, they will get caught up by a nice headshot from Mike, but in the end, still, favor is towards Redhawks. And
Carter gets punished for taking an early position there up in like CT, and these post-plant positions surely should be good. You have the turret holding down door, Seeker ready to swing off its contact. The turret's actually going to collect the kill.
Oh, Gurg.
Michael 1J, it happens. Turret gaming. There it is.
Turret gaming.
Toxic's just going to look to save this rifle more than likely, and Catboy Inquisition get their 4th. they've already quadrupled their rounds from the first half, so
I mean, yeah, that's a great way of putting it. This attack, they really figured it out that they just need to go fast and be able to play this extremely aggressively, as Redhawks didn't seem to be ready for it. However, coming in now, they will have the superior guns, and it will be like a light buy coming out from Redhawks. And Catboy, they're going to be able to most likely pick up another round here. You know, I'm guessing actually not a not a light buy, will be a half buy, excuse me, as you know. Toxic stayed with the judge, but the rest of the team will be strapped for cash. There will be a Spectre and another judge, this time coming out from Cynex, or perhaps not. It's going to be
it's a pretty complete buy. You have Brad on his token judge, but other than that, you have rifles pretty much across the board, one Spectre. It's not a awful position to be in.
Well, again, mid control just goes straight up towards Cat B.
Cynex dry peeks through the brim smoke. That's a rough one.
4v5. Sage is pretty low, but Cynex, they find a kill on the Sat.
Blade Storm popped. That's a third.
Oh, it's all down. All down to the Killjoy on the side of Catboys. It will just be Seeker versus the world. 1v3 to keep this game alive, and he cannot do it. Retrograde finds one more for the books, and 13-4 will be your final score on Ascent. Redhawks versus Catboys, and from what we saw, a pretty dominant game, pretty one-sided, and they've dominated and shown which team is the better red team.
Yeah, it was a fantastic showing from Redhawks. I mean, they're so heavily touted in this event for an obvious reason, able to just pummel through Catboy Inquisition and secure themselves the top of their group in the first 2 hours of their official play. So overall, if you're Redhawks, you got to be maybe thinking about how to respond to those little, like those super fast hits, just blazing in with the Jet and Reyna. But overall, you're got to be feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's like exactly how you wanted today to go if you're a Red Hawk coming in. They do have perhaps one of the best captains/managers of all time, Brad Toxic. He may not be the best Valorant player, but he is definitely one of the smartest guys in this community. And now you see people like Cynex just absolutely dominating and popping off in these past 2 games. And, I mean, right now, seeing the other team's game, I've been kind of watching at a couple breaks, and I'm just seeing Redhawks at the top. I mean, Redhawks should be at the top of everybody's list.
Yeah, I mean, this team is fantastic. The Toxic branding, always fan favorites. Just an absolutely stacked roster. When like the least mechanically proficient player that you pick up, or like the latest round pickup, you have Seal. Still finding those fantastic lurk timings, just winning out gun duels and tree. When that's as far as the players you have any sort of agency over, when that's your lowest value player, that's saying a lot about your team as a unit. And just the commanding presence of Retrograde on the Sova, always able to find timings, find connections with the util. It's this Redhawks team is looking really, really scary, especially as they build up confidence and cohesion as a unit, since their fundamentals are looking extremely clean.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, there will be more games tonight, but I doubt any are going to be more one-sided than that. But, I'm sure someone will come along, make me eat my words, and all that, and a bag of chips. As the other games we have tonight are, Mahir Appreciation Society versus 100 Treks, Two Timers versus Big Macs, ISO versus Los Stupidos, and It's Official versus Mahir Appreciation Society. On this side of this stream, it will be the Two Timers versus Big Macs, and It's Official versus MAS, Mahir Appreciation Society, as everyone should be thankful for their local Mahir.
Get out of here, you curmudgeons. It's my turn now.
Thank you, Bo, and have a good evening, everyone. All right. Well, I guess let's just wrap this up then. So yeah, 2 more games here on the B stream. We hope you all enjoyed your opening 2 matches for the B stream. I am Rosehour, Stratocaster, coming to you live from wherever, going to you live wherever. Have a good evening.